Have you ever heard the phrase, as dead as a dormouse? It doesn't actually refer to someone who has kicked the bucket. Instead, it means that someone is in a deep, deep sleep, like Mariana Trench deep. That's because dormice are powerful sleepers, able to catch Z's for entire months at a time, sometimes as many as 7 in a row. And you can't even get a solid 8 hours. Step your sleep game up like the dormouse. Yes, these tired little fluff balls are famous all over the world for their sleep habits, but they also hide a shocking secret. Even though they look like a mouse, and the word mouse is literally in their name, these creatures are actually deep undercover. So, as cute as they are not to be trusted. They aren't what they seem to be. Hi, I'm Jay, and you're watching Bad Science, the only show that can shrink down Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style to investigate dormice and expose them for what they really are. I do a crazy investigation for a different animal every week, and then deliver all the insane facts the only way I know how, badly. I'm back to human size now, and I'm ready to share everything I learned about dormice. So let's get started. Just remember that these little bastards are shifty, so watch your back. And the floor, since they're very small. Dormice are nocturnal rodents in the Gliridae family. They can be found across Africa, Asia, and Europe, where you'll typically find them snoozing in the bases of trees, in burrows, or even abandoned beehives. They developed a reputation for being asleep so fast that their name reflects it. The first part of their name, dor, comes from the French word dormir, which means sleep. Their name is literally sleep mouse. Imagine if you did something so much that you were named after it, like Eat Boy or Fart Girl. There are more than 30 different dormice that range from the Japanese dormouse to the Angolan African dormouse, and even the desert dormouse of Kazakhstan. Very nice. Only 4 dormouse species are extinct, but they've been around a long time. A very long time. Dormice are one of the oldest recorded rodents in history, and their presence can be traced back to around 50 million years ago. Regardless of where a dormouse lives, it will have many of the same physical characteristics. For instance, dormice are tiny. Their bodies can weigh 15 to 180 grams and range from 6 to 19 centimeters in length, with tails that can add another 6 to 15 centimeters to their size. Yes, fellas, that's still considered small. The largest dormouse was a species that skittered the Earth during the Ice Age, about 2.4 million years ago. It was maybe the size of a rat, and I'm not talking about Ratatouille. Their tiny torsos are covered in dense fur that keeps them warm, but so are their tails. This was the first hint that dormice aren't what they appear to be. Mice tails aren't covered in visible fur like that, although they do have thin, light hairs there. I'm onto you, dormouse. All species of dormouse are arboreal creatures, meaning that they live in and around trees, and are more than comfortable scaling them to get up high where they're safe from predators. This is critical to their survival, because they look like popcorn chicken to anything with teeth, including me. In terms of predators, dormice have it pretty bad. They're preyed upon from above by falcons, hawks, and owls, and on land by weasels, wild boars, and foxes. The wild boars have even been known to force their snouts into dormice burrows where they sleep and hide. I can't imagine anyone who would want to wake up to a boar snout in their face, especially if it intended to eat you. Dormice aren't defenseless though. The way their skulls and facial muscles are arranged gives them a powerful bite relative to their size, which is usually enough to get predators to leave them alone. If they don't get swallowed up in a single chomp, that is. See? Popcorn chicken! With sharp, curved claws on each of their toes, their tiny hands are perfect for fitting into the cracks in tree bark for leverage. They are expert climbers basically from birth. Just look at this baby dormouse climb! Also, their tails are prehensile, meaning they have complete control over them like an extra limb. It's not just a wiggly flesh flag. That means they have an extra point of contact while climbing, or even a counterbalance to keep them steady on precarious branches. Hey, wait! Now's the time. Subscribe to the channel to be entertained while learning. It's free! When it comes to communicating with other dormice, our furry friends have been observed to create a variety of vocalizations. From high-pitched calls to chittering teeth, whistles, chips, and squeaks, dormice use their mouths to communicate like we do. However, their sense of hearing is on a whole nother level. Just look at their ears. They may not look like much, but these flaps of thin flesh can funnel in sound from great distances, allowing dormice to communicate with each other from tree to tree. This is important because, when they're awake, they're easy pickings for predators. They usually like to be alone, but they have been known to live in family units of many dormice. So being able to watch each other's back and warn them of danger keeps their families strong. Unfortunately, while their bodies are adapted for speed and athleticism, they aren't always able to get away in time. They do have tiny legs after all. But enough about our tiny sleepy friends getting eaten. What do they eat? Well, dormice have a pretty varied diet thanks to their status as an omnivorous animal. They love to munch on flowers, nuts, fruits, and insects, but they'll even eat some bird eggs if they're small enough. They aren't boiling or scrambling them though. They just crack them open and sip them down like a cool drink on a hot summer day. Refreshing. If a dormouse gets hungry enough and desperate enough, it will even eat one of its own. Scientists have observed male dormice eating other male rivals, which is not a pretty sight at all. We know an awful lot about dormice by now, and I think I have enough evidence to expose them. So hold on to your hats, because I'm about to tell you the big secret of the dormice. Something they've been hiding from all of us for millions and millions of years. Are you ready? Here it is! They aren't mice. While they look like mice, act like mice, and have mice in their name, dormice are actually not even in the same family. They're imposters, and I just jettisoned them into space, Among Us style. You'll remember I said that dormice are in the Gliridae family, but mice are in the Muridae family. Dormice are also members of the Scuromorpha suborder, which makes them even more closely related to squirrels and beavers. See? The furry tails were a dead giveaway. While dormice are no match for my immense investigation skills, they've been around much longer than any of us, so hats off to them. They likely accomplished this by sleeping for 70% of every year, but they also pump up their numbers when mating season rolls around. Dormice mating season occurs twice a year, usually over the spring and summer. The creatures are polygynous, which means that the males will mate with several or even many females, but females will only mate with one male. The dirty dogs. Male dormice have been observed getting into fierce and even violent competitions for females. Well, that's just how life is, isn't it? Once a pair of dormice have mated, the female will gestate the teeny tiny pups for 3 to 4 weeks, and then will give birth to a litter of up to 10 baby dormice. With roughly 20 babies every year, you can see how they've maintained their presence on the planet. These dormouse babies are born with their eyes closed and completely hairless, and they aren't ready for the outside world for 3 to 4 weeks. Their mothers protect and take care of them in that time frame, while the fathers usually leave after the conceiving is done to find another mate. Typical. Once a dormouse is roughly 6 weeks old, it is ready for life on its own. They usually live for around 5 years in the wild, doing their best to hide their dark secret from us the entire time. While many species of dormice continue to thrive, there are a few that are endangered due to human intervention and the destruction of their homes. In addition to being professional spies, dormice also eat vegetation all over their respective environments, which promotes constant, fresh growth. This keeps forests healthy, so the contribution of even their tiniest inhabitants shouldn't be overlooked. Thanks for watching this episode of Bad Science. I'm Jay, and if you want to learn more about all kinds of animals, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. See you next time.